Hello, everybody. My name is Chris Wood. I am 52 years old. I live in Tyndonega, Mohawk Territory from Napanee. I am a 5-year revenge retaliation, full physical identity theft victim. I am an injured, torture, medical blacklist, treatment refusals, discrimination, and falsely charged victim from criminal doctors who are criminally and negligently involved in Ontario Provincial Police, Lennox and Edmonton, Ontario Provincial Police, and their accomplices, injuring, torturing, identity thefts, and murders and cover ups with and for OPP Spencer Mills 14716 staff sergeants, years 2019 2021, who are guilty of kidnapping and sodomy sex assault. Ex-Chief or Commander, year 2019, he drove a white Jeep Wrangler. He had me shot August of 2019 before he left Napanee. Shannon Cork, Dave Weiss, Robert Lucas, Stacy, a mental health worker, was Napanee Daily Tea Company, now Kingston, and Shelley Huffner. They are at the Justice of the Peace as well. They are organized human trafficking, sex slavery trafficking. They're guilty of full physical identity theft, torture crimes, medical blacklisting, treatment refusals once again, having me falsely charged, lies, time buying, cover ups, arrest refusals, extortion, doctors who are criminally and negligently involved in aiding and co committing in my identity theft, my injuring, my torturing, and my attempted murder for revenge. Dr. Margie V, aka Tatiana V. She is a name and file falsifier, medical blacklister, and girlfriend to mental health worker Stacy. They are guilty of attempted murder with intent to commit. Ex-CEO, Lennox and Edmonton County General Hospital, Wayne Covey Duck. He is guilty of having me kicked out of the hospital. He is guilty of serious crimes on me. He is guilty of having my lungs seriously damaged with intent. Dr. Joy Hadley, Dr. Barton, and Dr. Pritchard, guilty of laughing in my face over being sodomized and then blaming me, calling the cops the same ones that did it, and trying to have me committed for it. Treatment refusals, name calling, being completely and totally deformed. My skull, my face, my body will not be able to get any help for 5 years. There is also Dr. Ambimbola, Dr. McGregor, Dr. Sue, Dr. Fardell, triage nurses Terry, Tanya, David. They are all criminally and negligent and involved with criminal intent, including Aaron Brown, patient relations, who had me falsely charged, conspired with OPP to give me a criminal record in an attempt to give me a criminal record. Arrest refusals, $22,000 extortion arrest. I have no feeling in my face. I have no feeling on the right side of my body. I have been seriously damaged while being blamed for it myself. Ones that these doctors and accomplices are covering up for. One, Dale Hartwick, who is aiding OPP for drop charges for a stabbing he committed against his wife's boyfriend. They are drug traffickers, they are sex offenders, they are pedophiles, and every one of them are guilty of injuring and torture crimes with and for OPP while being protected, which protects everybody else. Well paid $300 a day and the free drugs of choice. One known as Bill Wooldridge, alleged Hells Angels Ontario chapter captain, approximately 70 years old. His bald, glasses, goatee sometimes. He is a mimicker, highly delusional. He believes that he is me, believes that we were switched at birth. He thinks that he is my dad. He's guilty of murder, stalking, and murdering my mother. And while he was stalking my mother, he was calling her mom. One Blair Frederick Hardy, drug trafficker, meth trafficker, with and for OPP Robert Kane, guilty of financial thefts and frauds, identity thefts and frauds, financial thefts, frauds, forgeries, rapes, meth dealer, has a meth lab in Tweed, Ontario, allegedly, and guilty of multiple murders. Tyler T. Bag Lake, guilty of animal tortures, guilty of attempted murder. Jason Gimpy, two-step Van Alstyne, guilty of attempted murder, guilty of my identity theft with the intent to commit identity and insurance fraud. Revenge retaliation for OPP. There is one Ray LeBlow, and there is a Bert Hustler, who is alleged ex-NHL hockey player for the Philadelphia Flyers and the Hartford Whalers. He is a pill dealer. He is a sex slave trafficker, and he is also involved, guilty of attempted murder. I am the end of my bloodline with my full physical identity theft, the lies, the cover-ups, the time buying, the treatment refusals, the discriminations, the blaming me for stuff that I could not possibly do while preventing me help, assuring crimes against me. These doctors need to be criminally arrested and felony charged because Hardy Boys, Hartwicks, Hearns, and the rest named cannot be without $22,000. They are above OPP law. They are above all Canadian laws. They're guilty of domestic terrorism. Families of murdered and missing. How it's being done is through identity thefts, slave trafficking, and murdering victims. And these doctors are criminally and negligently involved in covering up these crimes with criminal negligence and intent. I am a 5-year revenge retaliation from these pieces of shit because I spoke of the sex slavery trafficking. They murdered my dogs. They murdered my mother. They completely and totally deformed me, completely changed my identity. How OPP are trafficking, framing, and killing also. This is another reason why they refuse arrest and buy time to get away with their crimes. Spencer Mills, you're guilty of murder in the first degree with intent to commit. Robert Kane, you are guilty of murder in the first degree with intent to commit. You are killers. You are using these drug-fed, money-paid pieces of shit, these lowlifes, to commit these crimes for you. I am not taking a fall for any of your fucking pieces of shit. Damage is done. You completely and totally deformed me. You changed me to look like an inbred piece of shit who is a crackhead, highly obsessed. He's a homosexual, and he's a bend over for OPP. Jason Gimpy, two-step Van Alstyne. I want these pieces of shit arrested one way or another, and I want them felony charged along with doctors. I would do it, but I go to OPP and I will be shot. I do not trust them pieces of shit in any way, shape, or form. This is how corrupt they seriously are and how dangerous they seriously are. They've surrounded me, hands on guns, to prevent anything legal on me. I have the R and I have what is called remote neural monitoring on me, how I am going through my identity theft, how my skull is being completely and totally deformed and mutilated with 100% fucking proof. These are all homosexual junkie pieces of shit. So congratulations, OPP. I now look like an inbred lowlife named Jason Gimpy, two-step Van Alstyne, and OPP. And the doctor's name, you are responsible and you are guilty of murders and attempted murder with criminal negligence and intent. When people are disappearing, I would seriously check the hospitals and I would seriously check OPP to make sure that they are not the ones involved and the doctors are not criminally involved in covering up OPP and Hardy Boy homicides, especially around Napanee. Kingston police are also involved with Jason Gimpy Two-Step Vinalstein and his drug trafficking, fentanyl dealing, murders as well through the homeless people in Kingston to commit murders. Be safe, everybody. Damage is done one way or another. Blair Hardy, Bill Woldridge, Tyler Lake, Jason Winalstein, Dale Hartwick, Tony Hearns, Bert Hustler, and the rest of you bastards. I will see you locked up in prison. I'm not paying OPP $22,000 to arrest you because you are their accomplices. The damage is done. This is what happens in Napanee, Ontario when you speak OPP crimes. You go through full physical deforming while it's being covered up, and you're medically blacklisted through their criminal doctors who are guilty of aiding and murdering a bloodline for these pieces of shit in Napanee, Ontario.